So we are back with Tintin. This is learning description in English with Tintin books. Here we have the story, The Crab with the Golden Claws. This is page 2. We continue from the previous page. In the first row, we see Tintin. He gives a word of caution, pointing to the can, saying that it's very dangerous to play with an open can because it has very sharp edges. It's obvious what he is talking about. We don't need to read. And then he frowns and throws the can into a trash bin. We say into a trash bin because it's not the same trash bin. While they walk away, he points a finger at Snowy. He scolds him angrily, saying that if you continue to do that, I would put a muzzle on you. Right then, he hears a voice calling him from across the street. It is the detectives. They are sitting in a cafe, waving their canes in the air, calling Tintin over. Tintin walks over to them and sits with them in the cafe at the table. One of them orders a drink for Tintin. They slap Tintin jokingly on his back, one after the other, as a way to greet him. And then the waiter comes with a drink, and just when they are about to drink, Tintin slaps them both on their backs, and they splash the drinks onto their faces. So let's see. From the first frame, Tintin points to the opened can and gives a word of caution that it has very sharp edges and it is very dangerous to play with it. He frowns and throws the can into a trash bin. While they walk away, Tintin points a finger at Snowy and scolds him angrily. We can say, and says that if you continue to do that, I would put a muzzle on you. And then, right then, he hears a voice calling him from across the street. He turns his head and sees the two detectives sitting in a cafe, waving their canes in the air. Tintin walks over to them and sits at their table, we can say. One of the detectives orders a drink for Tintin. Orders a drink for Tintin. And then they They slap, they jokingly slap Tintin on his back to, let's say, one after the other to greet him. Tintin becomes a bit stunned, we can say. Tintin becomes a bit stunned. The the waiter comes back with the drink. The waiter comes back with the drink. Just when they just when they were about to drink, Tintin also jokingly slaps them both on their backs so that they splash the drinks onto their faces. So let's go back and read again. Tintin points to the open can and gives a word of caution that it has very sharp edges and it is very dangerous to play with. We are here. And then he frowns and throws the can into a trash bin. While they walk away, Tintin points a finger at Snowy and scolds him angrily and says that if you continue to do that, I would put a muzzle on you. It's here. Points a finger at Snowy angrily and scolds him, saying that if you continue to do that, I would put a muzzle on you. So we have these words: frown, and then a word of caution is a very good phrase to learn. A word of caution. We have also scolding someone, and muzzle is a very good word. Not so good, but it's what you put on dogs so that they don't bite you. And then we continue. Right then, he hears a voice calling him from across the street. Across the street is also a very good phrase. Across the street. Let's see, we continue. He turns his head and sees the two detectives sitting in a cafe waving their canes in the air. Cane is the walking sticks. Tintin walks over to them and sits at their table. One of the detectives orders a drink for Tintin, and then they jokingly is a good word, slap, also good, jokingly slap Tintin on his back, one after the other. It's a good phrase. One after the other. To greet him, greet somebody. It's also very good. To greet somebody, say hello. Tintin becomes a bit stunned. It's an adjective. Becomes a bit stunned, like he wasn't expecting that. So the waiter comes back with a drink. Just when they were about to drink, and this is a very good phrase, just when they were about to. Just when they were about to. And then the verb. Tintin also jokingly slaps them both on their backs so that it's a good phrase. so that they splash, it's a good word, they splash the drinks onto their faces. And this is where we are. This is the last frame. So this was page 2 of the book, The Crab with the Golden Claws. This was learning description in English with Tintin.